I am thoroughly convinced that the only people that think kiwi farms are powerful are kiwi farms. First of all, they have all these delusions of grandeur. There was recently a thing where a disgusting abusive person who abused his cat got arrested, and Josh featured it and was like, look, kiwi farms did this. No, they didn't, you fucking moron. The police did it. The police did it because someone, maybe a kiwi farmer, but probably most likely not, wrote into the police and said, this is what's happening. So this person's now no longer to be with their pet because they're abusive. What has that got to do with your website? That doesn't mean your website cares about animal abuse. No. And don't fucking tell me that the 0chan thing was a victory from kiwi farms either, because that fucking sure as fuck was not. There were so many people from so many communities looking into 0chan, that monkey abuse site, including me. And there were loads of people making FBI reports. There is literally, again, zero evidence that the person who made the winning FBI report was a kiwi farmer. Even with threads, they think that they matter a lot more than they do, okay? First of all, kiwi farms isn't on search results, so if you have a thread on kiwi farms, there's a high chance the only people that will know what to look for are kiwi farmers, right? Because to get someone's KF thread to come up on Google, you have to type in kiwi farms. Unless someone knows what kiwi farms is already, how the fuck are they going to do that? So, again, no difference. But kiwi farmers will say stuff like, we've completely ruined her reputation. Bro, you're not even on search results. For that to happen, you'd at least have to, be something that people can look up. Another one that I just think is beautifully comical is, you won't get a job if you have a kiwi farms thread. You can't be a famous politician. You can't be a famous lawyer. You sure as fuck can. Right? You know who else has kiwi farms threads? Multiple politicians. That's why if you go into a job and someone searches up kiwi farms to figure out what it is and why all these people are talking about you, that's why they won't give a shit. Because the first thing that will come up is a Wikipedia article stating that kiwi farms are harassers. It's like a harassment stalking site. I don't agree, but I'm just saying that is what comes up when you search for kiwi farms. The other thing that will come up is Marjorie Taylor Greene saying that kiwi farms needs to be closed down because it's a threat to human life or whatever. Okay? So will Matthew Prince coming up saying why he's blocking services to kiwi farms. You guys don't have any power when you've pissed off people who are way wealthier, way more competent, and way more intelligent than you. I don't think you realize that when you offside governments and when you offside tech conglomerates, you basically lost your credibility, as a whole. And I am not saying that I agree with censoring stuff, because I don't. But Matthew Prince was being swatted every day. Actually, not by anyone I know, but he was being swatted. And he was being swatted because he was hosting kiwi farms. So, what did you want the guy to do? Did you want him to continue putting his life at risk every single day for, some fucking niche forum? Can we be for real? Honestly. Also, the other thing I want to point out about all of this is that you guys are not politically correct enough for your views to be considered by normies. I know that sounds bad, and it shouldn't be that way, I agree. You should be able to say whatever you want and still be considered. But the problem is, most of society will go to someone's thread thinking maybe this isn't a good look, they have this whole thread on this website, but the first thing they'll see are a bunch of people calling that person a whore or saying they should be dead. And then they'll be like, oh, it's one of those websites. Okay, I'm not going to listen. So the thing is, when you guys host revenge pornography and you host multiple threads where women are sexually harassed and called whores, the general public can just see that for what it is and say oh, this is just misogyny and stalking. But kiwi farmers don't understand why they don't have any power. You guys don't have power because you cannot publish information without getting personally invested and saying the most disgusting shit about people. And I am not saying I am some angel, because, you know, there are probably things that I've said and done that would make me look bad. The thing is, no one knows where I work, okay? No one knows where I work. I would never use the same name on the internet as I use in real life. So even if those things are true, and I do say, or do all the things that Sprite Header has said, at the end of the day, there would be nothing would happen, because because you'd have to know where I work. And I'm telling you for sure that if Sprite Header wrote into my boss with Discord screenshots, my boss would laugh at him. My boss would straight up turn around and be like, "You need to go outside, son." Like, that is what my boss would say. Like, I think there was one person who knew where I worked, and I think that one might have been Angry Canadian. Angry Canadian knew where I worked at the time, and he called my employer, and he asked to speak to me. He said he was from Kiwi Farms. He literally said that. And my employer literally said, "Oh, you're one of those people," and hung up the phone. Because the other thing is, all it takes for someone's thread to not affect them in real life is for that person to explain what Kiwi Farms is, right? You guys realise that Patrick Tomlinson could get away with the amount of shit that's on him on the internet? Because he would just go IRL and be like, "They're stalking me. They need to go to prison." And then, you know, most people are not going to question that, especially because when you click on a website, it could be perceived as stalking. So, I don't know. I'm putting my contact lenses in. I need to get clear ones. But, Kiwi Farms has lost its power because they're not considered credible anymore. And they're not credible. And the reason they're not credible is because they get shit wrong all the time, and they won't admit it. Like, they couldn't find my dad, so they just decided to make it up, and to find someone that Trollcow Farm thought was my dad. And by the way, it wasn't Trollcow Farm, it was Blaine Ross posting on Trollcow Farm, right? Blaine came up with the thing that Simon was my dad, or whatever. This is a schizophrenic troon, by the way. A schizophrenic troon. And you guys believe Blaine over like anyone else. Why? Like, tell me that this is like logical, sane behavior, because it isn't. And the thing with Kiwi Farms is they don't seem to realize that to gain a level of credibility, you have to prove yourselves to not only be reliable for information, but also to care to fact check information. If I point out saying something is an incorrect dox of mine, that isn't because I want to dissuade people. That isn't because I want to like throw them off course. It's because it isn't real. Trust me, if I was actually doxed, I would be making the biggest victim fuss about it. I would be going everywhere being like, Kiwi Farms are hosting my private information. We need to do something about it. I would literally be making a bigger scene if I was actually doxed. So they won't admit that, though. They can't admit when they get stuff wrong because they have such an awful sense of pride that they just can't take an L. Is actually like I think my best summary of Kiwi Farms is Dunning-Kruger. Because I'm the opposite of Dunning-Kruger. People think I'm a lot more dumb than I actually am. I've had so many people message me being like, "Oh, you're so much more... You're a lot smarter than I thought you were." And it's like, yeah, well, no shit. Kiwi Farms presents everyone as, like, completely retarded. So, like, it isn't hard to be smarter than people thought you were. Because these people, Kiwi Farms literally, they will fucking... they cannot deal with the fact that they might not be the most intelligent themselves. So they'll try and pretend that everyone that they don't understand is dumb, because the alternative of admitting that they're outsmarted is, like, considered hell for them. So that's my analysis. Regular Kiwi Farms rant.